Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cubcast. During this podcast, we sit down with remarkable heroes who've been through extreme adversity. And these heroes are going to inspire us and they're going to guide us in the right direction, which will give us resilience and confidence in our lives. So we're out here across the country in Israel. And ever since October 7th, it's been very difficult. And we're out here and I'm going to interview a few soldiers and an organization called Think Israeli Soldiers, and an organization connected to it, which is Momentum. So, guys, please listen and enjoy the show. With a special guest today, Shlomo from Israel, from Jerusalem. And we're in the heart of Jerusalem in an organization, it's a very special organization in their warehouse. It's called Think Israeli Soldiers. It's an amazing organization. They put together a warehouse to make sure all the Israeli soldiers have their equipment and have every single thing they need to prepare for war. And Shlomo was in the war in October 7th up north, and he also was in the army years before when he had to come to the army. So Shlomo, what do you had to be in the army? Can you tell us a little bit about the start of where you all started and where you are now in the Israeli army?
Right. So it's first of all, great to be here. Thank you very much. And this place is amazing. By the way, I'm here only because I'm taking equipment before I'm going into Gaza this Sunday. So wish us luck and pray for us to succeed and to kill as much of our enemies and to bring back the hostages. So basically, my journey in the army starts at age 16. That's when we start to be seeing what's your qualities, what you can do, how does the army want to use you. And you have to also have a clean record to go to the army. At the time, I didn't have a clean record. I was a pretty big or small troublemaker and got in various different types of trouble. The army didn't want to get me, but for me, it was a deep calling, knowing that I have to go to the army and I have to go to the Golani Brigade. If you know the Golani Brigade, in every war, we get like the toughest missions. I'm not talking about elite units that have very specific tasks, but as a brigade, we always get the most difficult areas because of our spirit. So basically, as a kid, learning about Golani, seeing all these wars happening during my lifetime, I really wanted to go there. So I made sure to clean my record and did everything in order to get there. I drive them crazy and eventually they got me in. And it was great 3 years. In 2013 and 2014, only a year after, I was in Protective Edge operation in Gaza. So it's not the first time for me to be there. And I'm very excited to go back again, although I know it's terrible to be there in some points. And that's me as a teenager or a young adult, you can say, going through war and going through this experience. When I finished the first 3 years, they tell us now is just the beginning. And I thought, this is crazy. I mean, I gave 3 years, I'm done. And people who are older than me that know the army a bit better said, no, the army needs you more than that. It's not enough. And the first time I joined the reserves is after 3 years being abroad. I went for a big trip. I traveled the United States, Central America. I tried out a lot of different things in order to learn about myself and learn about the world, and it was a great time. And at a certain point, I realized I was kind of suffering from a low-key PTSD from 2014 in Protective Edge. Basically, what happened is we went to war, we came back, nobody asked you, how are you doing? What have you been through? You just go into the next mission the day after. And that's a key point also, that in my job where I work in Momentum, which is under this umbrella organization, is something that we educated the army how to take people out of the battlefield in order for them to continue and transition into civilian life. And it starts with very small things like, how are you doing? What have you been through? And just letting a person speak. And we do this in groups of organic teams that fought together. And it's very important because they can each fix the picture of what they've been through, because PTSD lies in the events that you don't know what happened. You don't understand, why did I go there? Where was the shooting from? What exactly happened? Why did I respond this way? And when you get the whole picture together, that's where your mind can relax and get out of that survival mode and live in peace with what you've been through.
So sometimes we're on the go. We keep pushing, keep going to the next thing, work, this thing, that, and we don't even realize what happened. Like,
Right.
just stop and
Right.
take a minute and know what's going on, and that's just regular life. But then
Right.
with trauma and this stuff, you have to.
Right. In normal life, we need it. So think about the battlefield.
Yeah.
And when, let's say, this war, people are going back, we're jumped so many people out of reserves, and we have kids and wives home, and one day you're being shot at and need to respond, and the other day you need to change the diaper and do dishes. And it's a very tough situation, and you have to really learn how to adapt. And that's a very important area we need to work on for people to go back to their.
So you work with Momentum. What do you do exactly for that?
Right. So I was basically doing PR in Israel and public relations and fundraising in Israel. That what they recruited me for at the time. And very early, I just started the job and the war broke out, but they did a great job already before me. So the army knew on October 7th, they need a solution. What we were doing was people leaving their regular duty, 3 years of combat, and going into civilian life, transition program. That's what we were doing. But the army really understand we have all the resources in order to build a program right now on the go for people on the battlefield, because we have the experience, we have the people, we have the knowledge. Of course, we don't have it all. We had to research a lot and bring in more people, more academics and more professors in order to learn what's the best thing.
Them on the battlefield, not even after the battlefield.
So yeah, there's 2 stages to it. The first stage is right out of the battlefield. People who've been through an experience, they go out and they have a few hours in order to go through this seminar, we'll call it, that they'll go through in the first 24 hours within leaving the battlefield. That's super important. That's the first stage. And then the next stage will be in about 2-3 months after they're back to their normal lives, in order for them to really bring up the challenges and reflect on what they've been through this whole time.
It's beautiful that you went through it yourself, and now you want to go and help people that are going through maybe a similar situation or are not taking care of what they need to take care of. But now you said you're in combat unit, and now you're getting called in next week.
Right.
You said you have your wife's pregnant 9 months.
Yeah.
And you have a kid also.
So we have Dvir. He's almost 2 now. October 7th caught us when we were playing in bed, 6 in the morning, 6:30. The sirens go on in Tel Aviv, and we're like, what's going on here? I take my kid because I want to be responsible, but I'm like laughing. What's this about? Like, it's Simchas Torah.
You already did your part. You did your 3 years you did back years ago, and now you're with your kids, you have a family, you have everything going, and now all this goes on.
Right.
What's going through your head, like, when all this happened? Like, all this, like, October 7th, like, what are you thinking?
It took me 2-3 hours to realize really what's happening. At first, it was just a siren, walking down to shul. After 20 minutes, thinking everything is fine, I see the neighbors and people tell me a war terrorist came out in the south, and this is this balagan happening, and I'm like, good luck, the army's there, they'll do well. I've been through those borders. I know how it's dealt. I was pretty sure it's going to be finished by the hour. And I go to the synagogue, still a bit concerned, but understanding I need to pray a bit harder. And also that the brigade officer is in the same synagogue that I daven in Tel Aviv when I go to my in-laws. Yeah, so he's my commander, basically. So I say, I'll go there. I'll see if we have anything to do with this situation, which I'm pretty sure that I have nothing to do with it, because the army's there and everything is probably under control. And it's going to be a battle for an hour or 2, but it's going to be over very soon. And he comes in a bit later, running in, saying how terrible the situation is. Not in a panic mode, but guys, this is serious. Everybody who has a position, go turn on your phone, see where they need you, and everybody just leave, because it's dangerous right now. There's missiles, and there was one down the street that exploded. And at that point, I run out with him. I tell him what to do. He says, right now, only the officers and commanders are jumped. We're going up north. That's where the next threat is. They want to take advantage of the terrible situation we're in. And that's our position, because we've been really...
In the beginning, October 8th.
This is October 7th. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was only
yeah. The they already knew that the Hezbollah was waiting to see how it's going to happen with Hamas, and then decide when to join and draw the whole army over there and then attack over here. And it's funny because, not funny, but I mean, it's been the last 6 years in my unit that we were practicing to fight in the north. And the last training we did, they said it's going to be a battle of time. When the war breaks out, it's a battle of time. We have to get here as quick as they can because the element of time is what's going to make the difference. And knowing that, people ran to the border, came very strong, and that kind of stopped the attack of Hezbollah, for all we know. And yeah, so that's October 7th for us. And we've been there for almost half a year on the border. We lost 2 soldiers. One of them was American, actually, who volunteered, Omer. He came voluntarily to the army and to the war. He was living abroad. I don't know exactly what he was doing. He wasn't in my unit, but I mean, wasn't in my small squad, but part of the unit. It was a very difficult time being away from family. You said, how was it to leave family, right? So very difficult, not easy, but what keeps you going? You know, you have people in the back that want you back, so you have to be very good at what you do. The enemy doesn't care if you're a soldier in your day-to-day, and you have to really shift your mind to become a soldier again.
So now they're telling you have to go back and you have your family and everything back. What made you push yourself and, you know, have that push to do it and not be afraid and say, oh, my family's behind, what's going to happen? What got you going and what was going on and where you were in the army? If you can say, I guess, a little bit.
So the first thing is I am afraid, and I was afraid. In 2014, I was afraid, and also in October 7th. The last thing I wanted to do was to jump, but I knew it's the first thing I need to do. I mean, if I was 18 again, it wouldn't be the same amount of fear, but looking at my kid, like in his innocent eyes, going, I don't know where, am I going to be back? What is the war going to look like? I know it's a terrible situation. And basically it's scary, you know, you don't want to lose your connection with them and you don't want to leave them alone, and my wife, my kid. And, but you know that you have to do it. I mean, we're a country that, we're a country that needs to be ready for this all the time, 24/7, even on Shabbat. We don't have the privilege to stop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And right now we're in the warehouse as people are working behind us, and we're just talking about what you've been through, and it's going to help inspire other people around the world to kind of hear his Shlomo story and hear many other soldiers' stories about what happened. And now you fought for how long you fight in it?
So in this war, it was from October 7th to the 14th of April. Yeah, very long time. I had a knee injury, so I had like a 2-week break in the middle. So my wife was very happy, and I went right back.
How'd you get in?
Just all the weight and all the lack of sleep and lack of food because of all this situation. And so basically my bones became a bit weak, and I got a hit from a rock during the jump, and it injured me more than usual. So I had to rest for 2 weeks in order for it to get back. And I was glad to be back. And now, within a week notice, we know that we're jumped into Gaza. It took me 2 days to tell my wife because I know how hard it was for her the first time. I didn't even know if she's going to let me, but...
So she was pregnant through the whole thing, basically.
Right. That was the best part in the war. I mean, the moment of light for me during this war, like having such a terrible situation, losing friends, losing close ones, and not even in the close circle, but like when I saw the first videos of the hostages, I saw basically my sister and my brother. I didn't know the people, but I know they're my sister and they're my brother, and I have to do everything to get them back. And that's basically what my wife and I felt about this second call to come to the army, only having like a month and a half break, and having her pregnant through the whole time, which was I said a great point of light. And now for the second phase, she's gonna be Bezrat Hashem having the baby, and I'm gonna be away in Gaza. It's quite a situation. Maybe Mashiach will come today, right? That's always an option. and otherwise we'll have to keep on fighting until the day comes.
Wow. So what makes you feel going to Gaza rather than the north? Like, what was like, do you feel more scared or just kind of?
The only scary part about it is, again, the family behind. And I think the family behind, it doesn't matter which enemy it is, they're all bad and we want to get rid of them all. I think they're even a bit more intelligent and more sophisticated up north. That's what, in our sense of the 6 months we were there. I don't remember the question exactly.
Yeah, so one question would be, what, now that you went through the army already, you're going to the army again, what would you give a piece of advice to give the world, not even the Jewish nation, all the people in the world? What would you tell them what the IDF organization is and what they could take with them from your message?
I think is first thing that comes up to me is don't be scared. I mean, I talked a lot about fear during this interview because you have fear, but even though we have all this fear, we have to keep on going. We have to keep on pushing. I'm here right now taking equipment in order to be more prepared for the fight, for the battle. So you can call it scary times, but if you look at the long term, Am Israel, we're here forever. No matter who's against us, we're here forever and it's going to be good in the end. And for the students out there that are dealing with anti-Semitism and everything that's going on with Jews around the world, I know it could be scary, but stand up. Don't be scared to stand up. We're here to stay, and the world needs to know that. And we don't have to feel ashamed for it or be sorry about anything they're blaming us for, because it's nonsense. And just stick to the facts. Am Israel Chai, we're here to stay.
And yeah,
and let's keep on going.
We can say is just say, like, all these people are puppets of God and God runs the show.
Right.
And we got to just keep our head high and keep pushing, and in our lives, in our regular situations, as you said, you had challenges through going through the army. Now, what do you think others can take with them for their regular life challenges from your experience?
Stick to family, stick to friends, stick to people who you have good relationships with, because it's really what it's all about. Community, people, give service, try to help. I think the best thing I did once I realized that I'm in a terrible situation was to go work with teenagers out of a juvenile. It's just an example. It's not what you have to do, but find a way you can give back to the nation, give back to the service, and do something meaningful for the world.
Yeah, here we're at here, and think Israeli soldiers out here in the middle of everything. We have people from all over the world: Detroit, Dallas,
right.
Kansas, New York, Baltimore, all of it, and we're all out here just trying to make a difference and send out packages to people. And you're coming out here to help. Also, you're helping, and you're helping yourself. You're making sure you have all your equipment, all the things that you have.
Right.
So we appreciate it. Thank you for
Thank you very much.
The nation of Israel, and helping us doing your thing, getting your equipment, helping others, momentum, and you really inspire us. And we hope that you have an amazing, I wouldn't say amazing, maybe good luck.
There's good times also, yeah.
Amazing. I guess you can enjoy yourself as you're going through all that.
Yeah, good friends, good people.
Good luck. Hashem should protect you.
Amen.
Give you only the best. And B'ezrat Hashem, we should have shalom,
Amen,
peace in the world. And this world, we should have our hostages very soon.
Amen.
Come take them out of being hostage, and the war should come to an end, and we should come together and unify and bring the Messiah very soon.
Amen. So thank you very much. Shlomo. Thank you for everything you're doing.
And we appreciate your services in the war.
Thank you for coming here and supporting us. We feel the love, we feel the support in the battlefield or wherever we are. Soldiers all around. People are so excited about
and they feel it.
Support.
Come out here and help out and call us and try to make a difference in the nation and the community and in this organization. Israel Soldier is. Thank Israeli soldiers.
Thank Israeli soldiers and momentum. Yeah.
So thank you very much, and have a wonderful day, and good luck.
Am Israel Chai.
Hello, everybody. We're in Think Israeli Soldier warehouse in the heart of Jerusalem. We're here with an amazing soldier. What was your name?
Tirza.
Tirza. We have Tirza here in the warehouse, and we're just going to ask her questions about what's going on. How's it going today? How's your day?
My day is good today.
Thank God. Thank God. So what do you want to tell us about what your job was in the army and what happened on October 7th?
Um, I am now a logistics officer. I started as a soldier, I was a commander, and I went to officer school. I finished on August of 2023. The army, I left. I went to travel a little with my sisters, with my friends, and I came back on a couple of days before October 7th. On October 7th, I was out in Tel Aviv doing my own business. I was with my friends and we heard about all whatever happened. On October 7th, October 8th, I was already on my uniform, back to base as every good soldier, Israeli person that was. Some came back with planes from all around the country, and I think we're the only nation and country that would ever do something like this, and not running away from war and coming to war. I'm a logistics officer, as I said. I'm in a tanks unit. That's on the north side of Gaza. And I am in charge of bringing all of their supplies, if it's food, if it's guns, or if it's anything that they need in
Oh,
into Gaza. So that's my job in that.
oh wow.
Yeah.
So what do you do in the tanks unit when you're in Gaza before, like you're in charge of all the things that need to be placed in Gaza, but what about when you're in Gaza? What's your job there?
So they bring up to me 24 to 48 hours before they need something. They send a list of bullets or stuff that they use, then we need to bring them in. So I go into a specific spot where I need to be, we'll say it that way. And sometimes they come and take it from me. We come in like a couple of trucks. Sometimes the soldiers come and take it from me, and sometimes I go to their own specific places with the trucks and we put it down by them.
So what pushes you and puts you out there another day to do your job in the army and motivate yourself to help out?
I love my country and I love the people that are here.
Yeah.
That's really the truth.
And do you ever feel like responsible for like something that doesn't come in correctly, like when you're doing your job?
Well, in the army, there's nothing that's not possible. So we do everything and we do it in the best way as we can. Unless it's my problem and I didn't get stuff at the time, so it's my problem. But if it's something that I couldn't, or there's no way to get that, there's barely stuff like that can happen. So it might be you have a little responsibility.
Yeah, so something I noticed in Israel, nothing's impossible, no matter where you are. You know, I wanted to go up 4 flights. I wanted to go up to the next, but it's hard for me to do the stairs. And right then and there, there's people carrying you. There's no question about what's going to be. And I kind of feel that maybe, of course, it's in the army, but 10 times more. They get everything done. There's no impossible.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's what I said. There's nothing that we can't really get. We get everything, and in any way we'll do it. And that's our nation, really. As you see, when the war came, everyone came up together, and we're in the warehouse for the same reason, and you guys are here for the same reason. So there's nothing possible.
While you're out there and you're on your mission in Gaza and you're doing your next thing, what are you thinking about going on with your family? Were you worried about your family? What were you thinking about, like, your family and people around?
They are my family.
They are your family, but I'm saying your actual family that you were, like, at home. Yeah, while you were there, October 8th, you got in there and you started working. And
I have more brothers and sisters that are in the army. I have 2 other brothers.
Do you ever think about them and worry about them, or?
Yes, but I feel like God is watching whoever and everyone. And it's sad to say, but when we have a loss, please God, they're closer to the plate, I should say, and we're watching from.
So right now we're tying tzitzi in the warehouse, and this is what protects the soldiers. This is what brings them, and they have Hashem with them while they're on the army. So, B'ezrat Hashem, with my kavanas, tying the tzitzit, these soldiers are going to be protected.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I really
so
do.
thank you so much, and I hope that you have only success in the future, and Hashem has you safe and
And
protected.
everyone. So
Amen.
thank you.
Hello, everybody. We're here with, what was your name?
Ari,
Ari? Isaac?
nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
Detroit.
Boy, wow. So what brings you out here in Israel?
So I came to yeshiva 5 years ago. Did a year and a half in yeshiva, a year and a half in the army. Went back to yeshiva for a year. Now I'm studying in Israel. I'm studying it in college.
This is a warehouse. If you guys could see, is a whole warehouse, people working out here. And I bumped into you over here. And why don't you tell us about yourself? What brings you to this location over here?
So last week I got a text. I got added to a group chat that they said that we need to be on base this coming Sunday on June 2nd.
Oh, wow. So you got to be in the army on
Yeah,
Sunday now.
on Sunday. And they told us that that next week we have to be on, this coming week we have to be on base, and then we're going to be going to Gaza next week. So I came here to pick up some gear to take in.
Wow. So you're trying to prepare yourself coming out here. This is really this is a warehouse to bring equipment to all the soldiers in the war, but you're out here trying to get equipment for yourself so you can be prepared. It's like basically going into I wouldn't compare it to anything else, but it's like going to paintball and you want to be prepared with
Right, you got to get all the gear ready.
All the gear ready so you can fight for the country and help out.
Yeah.
So what gets you to do that? What pushes you to get out there and do that right now?
To go out to war?
Yeah, go out to war right now.
Israel's in a time of need. We're in a time where we have to bring back everybody that was taken, and I have to go out and do my mission. I was supposed to go to summer camp this summer, but I had to cancel my plans because the army calls, you can't say no. This is our nation. These are our people. We have to protect it no matter what.
And you were out here how long ago doing, you were in the army?
So I got out of the army 2 years ago.
Wow. So you made Aliyah to come out here to live here, or what was
to live here.
plan? Oh, wow.
To live here, to stay here.
So your plan is
forever.
to make Aliyah and stay here forever?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's my plan.
And you've been here ever since?
Yeah, for the last 5 years I've been here, yeah.
Very nice. And what prepares you for the army right now? Now, we got to be serious and get yourself in the army and fight, Hamas members and people that want to kill us. How does that make you feel? How do you get yourself up every day and get out there and fight in the war? It's probably very scary.
It's places like this that give me the strength. All the people coming and donating and volunteering, and they're showing me how they're supporting us. So that's what gives me the strength to keep going forward.
That's very big, and that's amazing. That's beautiful. And what kind of work are you doing in the army? What do you have to do out there?
I'm in the combat engineering corps, so we really go in and we blow up buildings and tunnels and.
So are you scared right now? Do you have some fear going in there?
No, I'm not scared. I'm just ready to get the mission done.
What's the inspiration back there? What drives you there?
What drives me there? Just being being Jewish, being Israeli, it's my duty to go.
Beautiful. Very nice. So good luck. And
thank you.
Hashem, we could do this to make peace in Israel and the world. And we can, exterminate the people that want to fight us and want to kill everybody, terrorists out there. So we're out here, and thank you, Israeli soldiers, which is an amazing organization coming out here and helping. And we just bumped into each other out in Israel, in the heart of Jerusalem, and continue what you have to do and stay safe. And B'ezrat Hashem, God will protect you.
Thank you.
And keep doing what you do.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
We are out here thank Israeli soldiers in the heart of Jerusalem. We're here with Plia. How's everything going today? Great, good to hear. And Plia is in charge of Thank Israeli Soldiers. It's an amazing organization that gives soldiers their equipment that they need. And they're also in charge of Momentum. Momentum is another organization, part of Thank Israeli Soldiers. And Plia, why don't you tell us about the organization and what you do for them?
Awesome. So thanks for being here, first of all. Thank Israeli Soldiers was founded about 20 years ago by Abba and Pamela Klayman. It started from the need that they saw of showing appreciation and gratitude to the soldiers who were putting their lives on the line and giving back to their country. Unfortunately, this is not the first war that Thank Israeli Soldiers has been around for.
Yeah.
Over the years, as the needs have changed, Think Israeli Soldiers has evolved. And about 14 years ago, they started Momentum, which helps transitioning soldiers from army life back to civilian life. So it started out by Abba was in a cab with a soldier who's about to get discharged.
So Abba Clayman.
Yeah, the founder. He was in a cab and he told the soldier, "Oh, you're getting discharged. You must be so excited because you have your whole life ahead of you." And the guy was like, "No, I'm not excited at all. I'm very nervous. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to do with my life right now." And they started talking and he realized that there's this big need that really hasn't been addressed yet. And he researched it more and slowly created this program. And that too evolved over the years. And now Momentum is the official IDF transition program for soldiers. Every year, about 50,000 soldiers get discharged from the army. About 20,000 of them are combat soldiers. And we have a bunch of different transition programs, but the main one is called Back to the Future, and it's for combat soldiers. It's a 5-day program. It's given out in nature with a professional facilitator from the mental health world. And they go in the summertime, they go up north. In the wintertime, they go down south. It helps them process what they've been through in their service. It helps them realize and focus in on all the skills that they actually gained during their service so that they don't feel like they just wasted time. And so that they also know that the fact that you were a commander now of 50 soldiers, you're a good people manager, for instance, or you gained all these skills.
So it's basically like a guidance to what you do after the army.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, they also have like a very practical level. Like this is how you write your CV, and this is the health insurance you have to pay now, and all that stuff, which is also technical. But also, they work on the emotional part of transitioning from the one getting commands and just fulfilling orders to being in charge of your life. Cool. This has a huge impact on the Israel economy because think of it: kids in America finish high school, then they usually start university. 3 years later, they have a degree or they do a master's, and then they're starting their career life. As in Israel, you finish high school. Either you take a year from Mechina before the army, or you go straight into the army. You're in the army for at least 3 years. Then you get out. Then you go travel because you just had 3 difficult years and you want to let some steam out. And then you come back and then you start university, or you start thinking about what you want to do. And then by the time you really start your life and start the career that pays, that you have to start paying taxes and giving back to the Israeli economy, you're much older than all the kids around the world. So who are not kids by this point. So if we can reduce the time that they're wasting, so to speak, but the time that's not going into their career paths after they finish the military, it goes a long way for the Israeli economy.
So this is probably this is appreciation towards the soldiers because it kind of guides them and they don't just leave them on their own.
Exactly.
So why don't you tell us about what you do in Think Israeli Soldiers?
So before the war, we still have it, but before the war, we have a center in the Old City that hosts soldiers. Groups of soldiers come by. It's called the Kess Soldier Center. They can come. There's something called Tarbut Yom Aleph on Sunday. Usually, soldiers have like a field trip, sort of, where they learn about their history or specific places around the country. A lot of them come into Jerusalem as part of their curriculum or what they're learning and as their activity for that day. So many of those groups go through our center. They have either workshops that we provide there for commanders to be better commanders, or for to unite the unit to be more in sync. They can have a lecture there. They can have a whole bunch of a variety of different things. It's location-wise, it's very close to the Kotel, so that's a great location for them. And it's full of appreciation. Like, we come in and the place is just screaming, "Thank you for your service. We appreciate you so much. The Jews around the world appreciate you so much." We have a team of educators that go around the country to strategic places to help the soldiers connect to the why of their service, to their history, to the heritage, to all that. On October 7th, first of all, because we had the Momentum program in place, the person in charge of the behavioral science unit in the Army called our CEO and said, "We have to get working because this is going to be a huge project." And they started working on a program. specifically designed for the war. And they researched all around the world, mostly like from wars like Vietnam War and World War II, and to see how other countries reacted and what they did after the war and how that affected the soldiers of the war. And based off of that and a lot of other things, they came up with this program called Shields of Resilience, where it's a 2-phase program. Phase number 1 is as soon as you're out of the battlefield, before you go home. It's a 1 to 3 day program. And that's like the first processing that they get before they get released. They have to, that's also in their core teams that they were fighting in with a trained professional. I told you before that we had 150 facilitators. Now we have about 550.
Wow.
And it's really critical to catch the soldiers at this point before it evolves, before their mental issues evolve into something bigger. Yeah. Some of the things that they do there are very easy, quote unquote, fixes. For instance, just the fact that they're in a safe space with a professional and they can open up and discuss things that they've been through, good, bad, everything in between, takes a lot off of their shoulders and helps them come home in a better way.
Nice. That's very good, because now they can, they have something to look forward to and something to have put their heads in the correct place. But I wanted to know what you guys do in the warehouse. We're out here in the warehouse. I'm helping with tzitzit right now, help put together tzitzit, and we're giving all the equipment to the soldiers. So why don't you tell us like what goes on here?
The Shields of Resilience is the mental health aspect of the way that we're trying to take care of the soldiers, and the warehouse is the physical way.
Yeah.
In the warehouse, we have supplies. Most of them are purchased by us with money that was donated by Jews all around the world. We also have people and communities that send us supplies based on specific requests according to what the need is, either because the price is much cheaper there or because we can't get it here. For instance, the first aid kits that we're almost out of. Those are things that you buy them on Amazon. It's no problem to get them into the country, and the soldiers really need them. Then we have the Rasaf of the unit, the guy who's in charge of logistics, sends us requests and says, we're from this and this unit, we're serving here and here. These are the number of guys that we have, and we need XYZ with a number of what they need, number of each supply. And then we create, show you an order sheet.
So right now she's going to show us an order sheet of what exactly they do here. And for me, I was here one other day, and now today, helping out and trying to make a difference in packing boxes and doing things for the soldiers.
So this makes a huge difference. Also because the soldiers realize that people still care about them. The war has been going on for a long time. And sometimes when they're fighting, they feel like the whole world has gone back to their regular lives. Universities are back to teaching and everyone has their life, but they're still out there fighting. And when they get these packages, and when they come to pick them up and they see the volunteers here, they realize that people still care about them and they're still giving to them.
So throughout the last few days, we met many soldiers who were coming to pick up their equipment here for their day in the army. They're going on Sunday, or they're going on whatever day they need to get to the army. They need to come with a few things that they need to take with them. So they prepare themselves and go out at war. And it's amazing what they do here. It's phenomenal. You guys really do a lot for them. And we can really appreciate this because we're at home, we're doing our thing regular day, but now these people are at war. We have to show them our support, and when they come here, they feel amazed and they feel very happy about it
and supported and appreciated. So the Rasap would send us an order, then we print it out. They have an order number, we have all their information, and we have the items and the quantities. Then we have volunteers go around the warehouse and collect the items that they need for the package. They package it up. This is a small order, it's only 1 box. We had an order the other day that was 10 boxes. There were 80 guys and they needed a whole bunch of supplies. The supplies vary from boxers and shampoo
to drones.
Yeah, like tactical things that
drones and body equipment like that's
and everything in between. It could be a headlamp, it could be knee pads. It makes tzitzit. Everything, every item that they get, helps them in whatever way that I don't can help them in. And it, of course, shows them like, we care about you. We're behind you. If you need anything, we're here. And people would send us a message. Are you guys still around? Is the warehouse still? Yes, we're still around. We're still here. We're not going anywhere. As long as you guys need us, we'll be here.
So guys, make sure, they're doing an amazing job and they're really helping out Israel, and just send him some love, send him, maybe even a letter, or we would love a donation to the organization. It'd be amazing. Yeah.
Talk about that also?
The letters we can send. Yeah. What do you think about that?
We, at the beginning of the war, we got a lot of letters. Now we're totally out. We have 0 letters today.
Oh, wow.
I'll show you the box soon.
No, because there's one in there.
Because people are not even feeling the war anymore. Because
Yeah, people forgot and they thought that like they sent a whole bunch, so it lasts a long time. We put letters in every order, and the soldiers love the letters. At the beginning of the war, I was skeptical. I was like, "Oh, the letter, it's nice, whatever." No, it's way more than that. Like you'll see soldiers folding up their letter, sticking it in their vest, tearing up, putting it in their pocket.
So it gives them some motivation and push. Yeah.
Ton of motivation. I got a picture the other day. I'll show it to you. It was in the Turkish hospital in Gaza. We won't get into technicalities, but the wall has children's letters all over. And it's next to the commanding officer's office or door or whatever. And they said that the reason that they put up the letters there is so that the soldiers coming in and out would remember who they're fighting for.
Wow.
So these letters are really, really important. So the letters are amazing. The donations are, we could not do this without support from everyone. So thank you.
So we went to the Claimants dinner the other day. It was amazing. And the Claimants really do amazing things. They have momentum, and thank Israeli soldiers, but we also need everyone else's help to kind of help it continue to strive. And without this organization, I don't know how they would get their equipment. And it's very important for us to have their equipment, and it could save a life just by having a small thing like a portable charger or even paraseat seat to save a soldier. So guys, thank you so much for listening, and remember, let's support Israel and the IDF. So thank Israeli soldiers and have a wonderful day.